Hi, and welcome back to Write and Rise. Before I get into today's video, this is a reminder that I have free resources on my webpage, and I'll link that in the description below. There's a quiet ache inside so many women who are doing everything right. They wake up early, they plan their days, they hit the gym, they work hard, they say yes when they mean no, just to be seen as capable, kind, and helpful. But still, the success they dream of feels just out of reach. Not because they're not trying, but because they're trying from the outside in. They're building castles on sand, discipline without identity, and action without alignment. What if real transformation doesn't start with your to do list, but with a single powerful question? Who do I truly believe I am? Here's the truth most personal development misses. You don't become successful by acting like someone who is. You become successful by finally becoming the woman who already is. Most women seeking success rely on willpower, on hustle, on forcing themselves to perform productivity, confidence, leadership, as if wearing a mask of who they think they should be. But no matter how optimized your routine is, no matter how many affirmations you repeat, if deep down you still believe, I'm not enough, I don't deserve this, I can't lead, then every achievement will feel temporary. Every win will come with an echo. How long until I'm found out? Why? Because your self concept, the invisible story you carry about who you are, is always louder than your habits. And when that inner story says, I'm just surviving, no amount of external success will silence the guilt, the fear, or the burnout. The shift isn't from I need to be successful to I am doing all the things successful people do. It's from I need to be successful to I am the kind of woman who naturally creates success. That's the difference between chasing and becoming. And when that identity shifts, everything else will follow. Your habits align, opportunities will appear, people will respond differently, and energy flows. Because success is no longer something you're striving for. It's now something you radiate. Your identity is not your job title or your relationship status. It's definitely not your follow account. It's what lives beneath that quiet voice in your chest that says, this is who I am. This is what I deserve. This is where I belong. And that is a voice that shapes everything. It filters your reality. It tells you what goals are possible and which ones are foolish. It whispers whether you should speak up or stay small. It decides whether you accept love or settle for crumbs. You've probably experienced this. You set a bold goal, launch the business, ask for the raise, leave the toxic relationship. You take action and something happens. You procrastinate. You get sick. You suddenly feel unqualified. You self sabotage. Not because you don't want it, but because unconsciously it doesn't match your identity. You're trying to live above your self worth. And the mind resists because deep down it's protecting an old story. For women, that protective story often took root long ago. In families where love meant obedience, in schools where girls were praised for being quiet and well behaved, in cultures where ambition was seen as threatening, or in relationships where vulnerability led to betrayal. So we adapted. We put on armor. We learned to please, to perfect, to carry the weight of others, to survive. And those survival strategies made sense then. But today, they're keeping you small. Because the very mechanisms that once protected you are now the barriers between you and your feminine power. There are four common old identities that women must release. The one is the good girl. From childhood, many of us were praised for being good, obedient, sweet, the one who keeps the peace. And we learned to say yes when we wanted to say no, to smile through discomfort, to call our needs selfish. And in doing so, we buried our voice. The good girl doesn't ask for what she wants. She waits to be chosen. She earns love by erasing herself. But feminine power is not quiet. It's not small. It's not agreeable. It's bold, clear, and it says, I matter. I take up space. I speak my truth. Gently, but without apology. Then we have the perfectionist. The perfectionist believes if I'm flawless, I'll be safe. I'll be loved. I won't be rejected. But perfectionism isn't excellence. It's shame in disguise. It's born from early experiences, a parent's criticism, a teacher's disapproval, the trauma of being not good enough. So you overachieve, you overprepare, you never feel done. But the finish line keeps moving. And deep down, you're exhausted because you're not creating from joy, you're creating from fear. Feminine power doesn't demand flawlessness, it embraces humanity. It allows for messy starts, for learning in public, for creating, not to impress, but to express. Then we have the over responsible one. You were the family glue, the one who cleaned up after others, who fixed the problems, who managed the emotions. You were praised for being so mature, such a helper. But what you weren't taught is you don't have to carry the world to be worthy. The over responsible one believes the burden is hers, even when she's not asked. She overcommits, neglects her needs, burns out. But true feminine power is not about doing more. It's about being fully, freely. It knows when to lead and when to rest, when to help, and when to say, that's not mine. Then we have the survivor. The survivor learned, depend on no one, trust few, keep your guard up. Because in the past, depending on others invited pain. So she built a fortress. She became self sufficient. I can do it myself, becomes her mantra. But somewhere along the way, her strength became her prison. Because the survivor armor blocks softness and it silences intuition. It keeps the nervous system in fight or flight, always alert, never at peace. And in that state, feminine power cannot flourish because feminine power is not about resistance. It's about receptivity. It's about being able to receive love, accept support, feel your body, trusting the flow. But the survivor can't receive. She only knows how to endure. And so she pushes, even when the universe is whispering, rest, receive, let go. You wore this armor for a reason. You needed it, but you don't need it anymore. Because true feminine power doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from softening, not collapsing, not losing your edge, but softening. Because feminine power is rooted in receptivity over resistance, flow rather than force, embodied wholeness, not just doing. The survivor lives in her head, calculating, controlling, protecting. The sovereign woman lives in her body, sensing, feeling, trusting. One is a fortress, the other is a garden, and only the garden can grow something beautiful. When a woman sheds these old identities, she steps into her sovereignty. Not because she's perfect, not because she's achieved everything, but because she knows without needing proof that she is enough. She becomes the sovereign woman, a presence rooted in deep self-knowledge, radiating calm, clarity, and quiet power. She moves through life like a still lake, undisturbed by chaos, gliding over obstacles that once felt like mountains. She doesn't force her way forward. She aligns and allows. And in her alignment, everything follows. She wakes with the light, stretches into her body, journals a fleeting dream, not because she has to, but because she listens. Her work unfolds in focused waves, and she protects her time like sacred space. She doesn't multitask. She embodies every moment, At lunch, she eats slowly, not scrolling, not rushing, present and grateful. When a friend hurts, she doesn't fix. She listens fully without an agenda. An invitation comes from someone aligned and meaningful, and she says yes, not because she should, but because she feels it. By evening, she sits in stillness, not counting accomplishments, but recognizing them as natural results of living. The world leans in when she speaks because she embodies it. Her energy is unmistakable, grounded in her breath, open to intuition, balanced in softness and strength. She says no calmly and doesn't explain. She says yes from the belly, not the mind. She shifts energy with a single intention. She doesn't hustle, she harmonizes. And because her inner world matches her outer life, she doesn't attract opportunity. It finds her effortlessly. This is the beautiful ripple of identity alignment. When you become the woman who is success, not the woman who's trying to reach it, the universe will respond. And this is how success will follow her. She becomes a magnet. Trust is earned effortlessly. Her decisions feel intuitive because they're aligned. Opportunities emerge without effort. A freelance designer, once sending 50 pictures a week, shares one authentic post and lands her dream client. Why? Because she's no longer begging for attention. She's sharing her truth. Money flows with purpose. Relationships thrive in balance. Work becomes effortless flow, and life harmonizes. The secret isn't another productivity hack. It's not another 5 a.m. routine, and it's not more discipline. Your external life is a mirror of your inner story. When you change the story from I'm not enough to I am enough, from I must survive to I am safe to thrive, from I have to do it all to I am supported, then success doesn't chase you, it flows to you, like water to the lowest point, like light to the open sky. You don't have to become someone new. You don't have to force, fix, or fake it. You just have to remember to reclaim the powerful woman you've always been. She's not waiting in some future achievement. She's already here, beneath the armor, beneath the roles, beneath the shoulds. She's in your breath, in your intuition, in the quiet yes that rises when you finally listen. So ask yourself today, who do I truly believe I am? And when the old voice says not enough, respond gently. I am the kind of woman who creates success. I am the kind of woman who is worthy of love, of money, of ease, of joy. I don't need to prove it. I don't need to earn it. I simply am. Success doesn't chase her. It follows because she is the woman success naturally flows to. If you enjoyed this video, leave a yes in the comments and tell me, who are you becoming? And don't forget to subscribe. We're rewriting the story of feminine power, one woman at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.